Friends, after a wait of 3 years, the second part of the Pushpa movie has finally been released. It has already broken all box office records on its very first day. Allu Arjun's acting made the first part of this film a super hit, and this time, his performance has turned its sequel into a blockbuster. Packed with action and entertainment, this movie is even more exciting than before. If you want to understand this film properly, keep watching this video. Today, I will explain Pushpa Part 2 for you. So, let's get started. You're a superhero. At the beginning of the movie, Pushpa has a dream in which he supplies his red sandalwood to Japan, but the people there refuse to pay him. Because of this, Pushpa travels to Japan and fights the same gang that had purchased the goods. However, during the fight, Pushpa gets shot. This triggers a childhood memory of when he had once fallen into the water in a similar situation. At that moment, Pushpa wakes up from this terrifying dream. Now let's talk about the real story. The film's events take place sometime after Pushpa, Part 1. By now, Pushpa has married Srivali, and since becoming the leader of the syndicate, his respect and earnings have increased significantly. On the other hand, police officer Bhanwar Singh Shekhawat, whom Pushpa had humiliated by stripping off his uniform and refusing to bribe, suddenly disappears. Everyone assumes that he quit his job out of shame, but in reality, he is secretly planning his revenge. One day, Shekhawat disguises himself and infiltrates the jungle, blending in with Pushpa's laborers while they work on smuggling red sandalwood. Once all the goods are gathered, Shekhawat summons the entire police force, arrests all the workers, and seizes the smuggled wood. As soon as Pushpa learns about this, he takes advantage of Shekhawat's absence and visits the police station. There, he bribes all the officers, gaining their loyalty. With their help, he frees his workers and retrieves all his confiscated goods. One day, MLA Siddhappa Naidu, who was secretly aligned with the syndicate, takes Pushpa to meet the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. Before leaving, Srivali asks Pushpa to get a photo clicked with the CM. However, the CM refuses, fearing that taking a picture with a smuggler would damage his reputation. This deeply upsets Pushpa, as he feels disappointed that he couldn't fulfill his wife's simple wish. Pushpa then asks Naidu if he would have taken a photo with him if he were the CM, to which Naidu says yes. This motivates Pushpa to make Naidu the chief minister at any cost so that he can get that photo for Srivali. However, achieving this requires a huge amount of money. To secure funds, Pushpa sends Naidu to Delhi to negotiate with Central Minister Pratap Reddy. Pushpa offers 500 crores to Reddy in exchange for helping Naidu become the CM. Reddy agrees, but at that moment, Pushpa doesn't have that much money. To gather the required funds, Pushpa decides to expand his smuggling operations beyond India. He travels to the Maldives and meets an international buyer named Hamid. They strike a deal for 2,000 tons of red sandalwood for 5,000 crores. Now, Pushpa's main challenge is accumulating such a massive quantity of goods. He unites all the red sandalwood smugglers under his syndicate and offers laborers higher wages to speed up tree cutting. He stockpiles all the goods in Chittoor. Meanwhile, Mangalam Sinu, the former leader of the syndicate, learns about Pushpa's growing operations. This makes Sinu and his wife, Daksha, suspicious that Pushpa is planning something big. They decide to sabotage his plans and join hands with Bhanwar Singh Shekhawat, as both of them want revenge on Pushpa. One day, Daksha meets Shekhawat and informs him that their former ally, Bichcha Reddy, has now joined the syndicate and is supplying goods to Pushpa. Since Daksha knows the route from where Bichcha Reddy transports the goods, she advises Shekhawat to intercept and seize his shipment to instill fear among the syndicate members. She believes that once they are afraid, Sinu can regain control over them. One night, Shekhawat and his police team wait at the route where Bichcha Reddy's trucks pass. As soon as the trucks arrive, the police stop them and burn the entire shipment. Shekhawat then captures Bichcha Reddy and throws him off a bridge, killing him. When Sinu and Daksha arrive, they are shocked and tell Shekhawat that they only wanted him to scare Bichcha, not kill him. But Shekhawat coldly replies that merely scaring him wouldn't have made much of a difference, whereas his death would create real fear in the syndicate. As news of Bichcha Reddy's death spreads, the syndicate members genuinely become terrified of Shekhawat. To protect themselves from the conflict between Pushpa and Shekhawat, they start considering reinstating Mangalam Sinu as their leader. They also blame MLA Naidu for the chaos, since he was the one who made Pushpa the syndicate leader in the first place. In response, Naidu meets Shekhawat and tries to negotiate peace, but Shekhawat, still furious, refuses to back down even after being offered money. Naidu then asks Shekhawat if he would forgive Pushpa if he publicly apologized. Shekhawat agrees, seeing this as an opportunity to humiliate Pushpa in front of everyone. To celebrate his victory, Shekhawat hosts a grand party where the entire syndicate is present. Meanwhile, the syndicate members pressure Pushpa to apologize. On the night of the party, a heavily drunk Pushpa, under immense peer pressure, approaches Shekhawat and says, "Sorry." This makes Shekhawat and everyone else believe they have finally broken Pushpa's spirit. However, as Pushpa leaves the party and regains his senses, he realizes that apologizing was a terrible mistake. Furious at himself, he returns to the party, drags Shekhawat to a swimming pool, and urinates in it to humiliate him. This enrages Shekhawat, who attempts to kill Pushpa, but the guests intervene and calm him down. Instead of killing him, Shekhawat vows to destroy Pushpa's business by confiscating all his goods. Pushpa, however, remains defiant and challenges Shekhawat. He declares that by next Monday, his 2,000-ton shipment will reach Chennai, and if Shekhawat manages to seize even a single log of wood, he will leave the syndicate and return to being a laborer. On Monday, Shekhawat, along with his entire police force, sets up blockades at every checkpoint, waiting for Pushpa's trucks to arrive. However, when no trucks pass through, the police become suspicious and start searching elsewhere. They soon discover a dried-up riverbed. Pushpa had secretly drained the river and was using the empty bed as a hidden route to transport his goods. Realizing this, Shekhawat immediately sends his team to intercept the trucks. However, Pushpa's men block their path. Determined, Shekhawat fights his way through alone and manages to reach the trucks, successfully seizing the entire shipment. He then calls Mangalam Sinu and Daksha to the scene to celebrate, even inviting the media to announce his big win, claiming he has captured all 2,000 tons of Pushpa's red sandalwood. However, Sinu, upon inspecting the goods, tells Shekhawat that the cargo isn't real red sandalwood, but a different, cheaper wood that only looks similar. Meanwhile, the police find a bullock cart that had passed through during the raid. Upon inspecting it, Shekhawat realizes that the cart is made of real red sandalwood. This means that Pushpa had disguised the actual shipment as bullock carts and successfully sent it to Chennai while using fake logs to distract the police. At that moment, Pushpa arrives outside the police station and mocks Shekhawat for being outsmarted yet again. To make sure the police cannot recover even a single piece of evidence, Pushpa then blows up the bullock cart with a bomb. Amid all this chaos, a grand festival dedicated to goddess Kali is held, where Pushpa's family and friends gather. During the celebration, it is revealed that Shrivali is pregnant. Hearing this, Pushpa, overwhelmed with emotion, dances in a trance-like state, embodying the spirit of Kali. He prays for a daughter, believing that since he himself had no surname, having a daughter would mean she would take on a new family name after marriage. During the festival, some goons harass Mohan's, Pushpa's stepbrother, daughter. Pushpa, enraged, brutally beats them up. However, despite Pushpa defending his family, Mohan remains ungrateful and tells Pushpa to stay away from them. Shrivali, furious at Mohan's arrogance, humiliates him before leaving. Following this, Pushpa moves his shipment from Chennai to Rameshwaram, from where the sandalwood would be smuggled to Sri Lanka. Once in Sri Lanka, Hamid would distribute it to other countries. The only person who knew the exact location of the 2,000-ton cargo was Jaka Reddy. When Jaka Reddy travels to Rameshwaram, Shekhawat secretly sends a spy after him and learns the exact location of the shipment. Acting swiftly, Shekhawat and a large team of police officers storm the coastal area, searching every boat for the hidden goods. However, they find nothing. Pushpa had outsmarted them once again. The sandalwood wasn't inside the boats. It was tied underneath them, submerged in water. As soon as the police left the boats, the smugglers started sailing towards Sri Lanka, which was nearby. Shekhawat frantically chases after them, but the boats cross the international maritime border. The fishing boats were legally allowed to cross the border, but Indian police could not pursue them beyond that point. Thus, the entire shipment successfully reaches Sri Lanka. A few days later, Hamid transfers 5,000 crores to Pushpa, marking his ultimate victory. Out of this, 500 crore is sent to Central Minister Pratap Reddy, who ensures that Siddhappa Naidu becomes the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. After becoming CM, Naidu immediately visits Pushpa's house, meets him, and takes pictures with his entire family. On the other hand, Shekhawat is deeply troubled by his defeat, and soon, the media is about to expose that the goods seized by the police were all fake. Fearing this disgrace, Shekhawat decides to burn the fake goods before the truth comes out. However, he realizes that if he simply burns the wood, people will suspect that the police themselves did it. So, Shekhawat sets fire to the fake red sandalwood warehouse and commits suicide by burning along with it, as he can no longer bear the humiliation. This way, he accepts his defeat to Pushpa and ends his own life. Meanwhile, everything seems fine in Pushpa's house. But one day, suddenly, his brother Mohan's daughter, Kavari, is kidnapped by some goons who demand 2 crore from Mohan. These were the same goons who had harassed Kavari during the festival, and Pushpa had beaten them up. Now, they kidnap Kavari to take revenge, knowing that Mohan is Pushpa's brother. By abducting his niece, they are sure that Pushpa will come after them. Mohan's wife rushes to Pushpa's house and pleads for help. Pushpa immediately orders a lockdown across the city and sends his men to search for Kavari everywhere. At the same time, he appears live on TV, warning the kidnappers that if anything happens to the girl, he will not spare them. During this, Pratap Reddy meets CM Naidu and asks him to stop Pushpa, as the gang leader behind the kidnapping is his nephew, Bugga Reddy. Hearing this, Naidu becomes fearful because Pratap Reddy is a dangerous man, and if anything happens to his nephew, both the CM and the syndicate could be in serious trouble. So, Naidu calls Pushpa and tells him to back off from Bugga. However, Pushpa refuses and arrives alone at the address given by Bugga, carrying the ransom money. The goons, who had already planned to kill Pushpa, capture him, tie his hands and legs, and start beating him. Not only that, but they also mistreat Kavari. But despite being tied up, Pushpa fights back and starts taking them down one by one. Pushpa, even with his hands and feet tied, uses his sheer strength and intelligence to fight back against the goons. He headbutts one, kicks another, and in the chaos, manages to free himself. Fueled by rage, he brutally beats every single kidnapper, ensuring they regret ever touching his niece, Kavari. Bugga Reddy, realizing the tables have turned, tries to escape, but Pushpa catches him and beats him mercilessly. In the end, he is about to kill Bugga, but just then, Keshav and Bugga's father arrive and try to stop Pushpa. However, he still kills him. Bugga's father, enraged, tries to take Kawiri away from there, but Pushpa kills him too and saves Kawiri. This melts Mohan's heart, and he finally accepts Pushpa as his brother because he fought such a big battle for his niece. A few days later, Kawiri's wedding is arranged, and Mohan, carrying the wedding invitation, first visits Pushpa's house. However, Pushpa refuses to meet him. Then Mohan apologizes to Pushpa's mother and says that if they do not attend the wedding, it will not happen. After that, Mohan leaves, and Shrivali shows the wedding card to Pushpa, where his family members' names were also included. Seeing this, Pushpa's heart softens, and he forgives Mohan. Then comes the wedding day, where Pushpa and his entire family attend, and the whole family reunites. Meanwhile, at Pratap Reddy's house, a mourning ceremony is being held for his brother and nephew, attended by several members of the syndicate and all of Pushpa's enemies. Jolly Reddy also comes there, who was brutally beaten and left severely injured by Pushpa in the previous part. Jolly had recovered a bit, so he joined forces with Pratap Reddy to take revenge on Pushpa. Moreover, Pratap Reddy had also allied with a new man who sent a bomb disguised as a wedding gift to Kawiri's wedding and detonated it from a distance. This man could be Shekhawat, who might not have died yet, or another enemy of Pushpa, planning to wipe out his entire family in the blast while leaving Pushpa as the sole survivor. Now the third part of this movie is coming. Pushpa 3, The Rampage. Now, Pushpa is no longer just the king of the jungle. He has only one goal: to avenge his family's death. Will he be able to find his new enemy? Will Pushpa's next move be even bloodier? To find out, stay tuned and wait for Pushpa 3. If you like this video, make sure to like and share it. And for more such interesting videos, subscribe to our channel Navitech and Entertainment.
You're a superhero.